والآخر الخاتم الأنبياء
محمد المصطفى.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And welcome back to another episode of Basic Series, where we aim to provide Islamic education at the comfort of your home or wherever you are. New episodes every Friday.
Yes. Waalaikumsalam.
I need to get my eyes checked. I can't see the screen.
I wasn't so sure if I was supposed to do the opening or not. Oh my god.
Yeah, I didn't know either, so I just jumped in.
Oh,
How you guys been?
good. Super busy.
Alhamdulillah, good.
Alhamdulillah.
Seems like everyone's just come back from holiday.
Yes.
As
Yeah.
normally when people say, getting there, getting where? Like, getting
Getting here.
there. But we're getting there to Jannah, inshallah.
Inshallah.
So alhamdulillah, good to see everyone back, our brothers and sisters, still Jannah, our brothers and sisters in Islam.
Inshallah.
May our relationship as brothers and sisters and the listeners, inshallah, our relationship becomes stronger and stronger from day to day, and it's get closer and closer from day to day, and we all inshallah enter Jannah together, holding hands, followed by the following Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You're holding my hands now, make me nervous. Alhamdulillah. All right,
So we
continue.
continue with the Prophet stories. So let's recap first before we move on to the next episode. So what we...
I think-
Shaz wasn't around for the last episode, so...
Oh yeah, that's right.
Latifah.
Yeah.
So what
Yeah.
do we...
I think what we got to do is we recap the names of the prophets. 25.
Oh, like in order though?
Yeah, the song.
Let's go ahead, Hadi.
I've already done it. There's a reel on it. On
Is there a real one?
Really?
There's a reel on it on Instagram.
Okay.
So I
Just play the reel then.
So from real not to real.
I think Shaz can do it.
Oh,
He has a better voice. than me.
No, I don't have a singing voice. Latifah?
I can't sing.
I think we didn't finish that song. I didn't finish. We was only up to Nabi Saleh.
Adam, Idris, Nuh, Hud, Saleh, Ibrahim, Lut, Ismail, Isa, Yaqub, Yusuf, Ayyub, Suhaib, Musa, Harun, Zulkifli, Daud, Sulaiman, Ilyasa, Yunus, Zakaria, Yahya, Isa, والآخر الخاتم الأنبياء Muhammad al-Mustafa. Alright, that's a
There you go.
25.
Now we have another reel for you, Hadi.
So today we continue again the story of Prophet Ibrahim A.S, where we read from the book of Qisatul Nabiyyin by Abi Hassan Ali An-Nadwi. That this book tell us about the prophets in the past, that we have many prophets. There's all the stories of the prophets, lesson that we can learn from them. Now we continue again from previously where we stopped. Anybody know?
I think we stopped the part where like we were talking about the dad.
Yeah. So the son of Azar, right? So
Yes,
the
the
dad's
son of
name is
Azar.
Azar. So what happened now? Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salam, he start to see his dad worshipping idol, carve idol firstly, and then start to sell it off, worship, prostrate on it, asking from it. So he think it's about time. It's about time to, now is the chapter we continue. It's time for Nasiha to Ibrahim.
The advice of Nabi Ibrahim.
Nasiha mean advice, a counsel of Ibrahim. So we begin, eh? Ready?
Yeah.
Translator?
Just ready?
Just
Ready.
Yeah. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Nasihatu Ibrahim. Wa kana Ibrahimu yaqulu liwalidih.
Lidi.
So Ibrahim alayhi salam say to his father.
Son or father.
His father. Ibrahim say to his father, Ya Abi.
Oh, that.
Yes.
Oh, that. Daddy.
Oh daddy. Oh daddy. Ya Abi, limaza ta'budu hazihil asnam?
Why is this something? What again? Yeah.
لماذا
Why do
تعبدون
you
هذه-
worship these
Yeah,
idols?
Yeah, why you worship these idols?
Yeah.
Not bad.
Okay, and he said, "Waya Abi."
Yes, your papa.
Oh, daddy.
Your papa.
Right. Oh, dad. Limaza tasjudu li hadhihi al-asnam?
Why are you bad?
Tasjudu.
Why are you?
When you are prostrating to
Yes,
the
sujood
to
Yeah.
to
the
the idols?
to the idols.
All right. Okay. And then next one. Waya Abi.
Your papa.
All right. Limaza tas'alu hadhihi al-asnam?
That's Alu.
Tas'al.
Say.
Why you ask from these idols?
What are you trying to ask? Like,
No,
Why
why you
you try-
ask,
why you
why you
asking?
asking the idols?
Yeah. Inna hadhihi al-asnam la tatakallam wa la tasma'.
Indeed, these idols
Idols don't talk
don't talk haram and
see.
La tatakallam wa la tasma'.
tasma. Listen.
Oh, here. Yes.
Oh, wow. I don't know none of it.
No, because my dad always said, "Uskutu wala tatakallamu." That's my dad. I was like,
Don't say
okay.
words.
Say it.
Yeah, don't say a word. Oh, good.
Wa inna hadhihi al-asnama la tadurru wa la tanfa'.
Oh.
And indeed,
Hadhihi al-asnam,
this idol
yeah, la tadurru,
They don't.
did not harm,
Does not harm you.
wa la tanfa', does not benefit you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
ولأي شيء تضع لها الطعام ولا
Any-
الشراب.
anything, something, Shain things.
Yeah. So why?
What?
Shain is
Oh,
things.
So what makes you put or what makes you give them or put on them
Offering.
طعام والشراب. طعام
Food.
والشراب.
Drink.
Drinks.
Food. Drink.
So Ibrahim alayhi salam, he saw his dad. Firstly, his dad worship upon the idols, and then secondly, he saw his dad prostrate upon the idols, and then
Yeah.
after prostrating and then asking from the idols,
And then giving.
and then talk to this idol where
Yeah.
the idol's not talking and cannot talk
Cannot listen.
and cannot listen, and then the idols cannot harm anybody, cannot
Yeah.
benefit anybody, and then they put food around them or in front of the
Yeah.
idols, right? And wa inna hadhihi al-asnama ya abi la ta'kulu wa la tashrab.
I give just
Yeah, Abby's
your papa.
So wa inna hadhihi al-asnam, and indeed these idols ya abi, oh daddy, la ta'kul wa la tashrab, does not eat, does not drink.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he is telling his dad that these idols doesn't benefit you, doesn't harm you,
And they
doesn't
don't drink.
doesn't eat.
Yeah.
Okay. Wa kana azar yaghdabu wa la yafham. And now what happened to the dad?
Understand harm.
Yeah, so the dad is getting angry and refuse to understand.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wa kana Ibrahimu yansahu liqaumihi.
Again.
Wakana Ibrahimu yansahu liqaumihi. So Ibrahim alaihi salam,
The people will call.
yansah means give nasiha, give advice, liqaumihi to his people.
To his people.
Wakana nasu yaghdabuna wala yafhamuna.
And to the people.
So the people, when he listened to the advice of Ibrahim alaihi salam, they get angry and they refuse to understand.
Okay.
So he give nasiha to his father, and then after that, when his father get angry and refused to understand,
He went to the
he
people.
went to the people. He advised the same thing, and the people same thing, get angry and then refuse to understand.
Yeah.
Qala Ibrahim,
Ibrahim said,
Ana aksirul asnam. I will
I will.
destroy the
destroy and
idols.
break the idols. Iza zahaban nas, when they gone.
Oh, when the people are.
And I think he did it during night time when they were all sleeping. If I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
we'll find out in the next chapter. But you see, the thing is, and we all know from the previous chapter that the idols is in the big house.
Yeah.
That the dad carve and sell and put all the idols there. So these idols and people come into that big house and worship the idols and in and out. So that's where he planned. He planned to destroy the idols when people all gone from that house. He said that wahina idhin yafhamun nas. On that day, then the people will understand. So here is regards to about Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salam, advising his dad, reminding his dad, advising his people, his community, reminding his community. But unfortunately, the dad refused to understand and even get angry, and the community refused to understand and get angry. So Ibrahim alayhi salam, he said that you will see one day.
Yeah, like he
I'll
said, he
show
made a
ya.
move
I'll show you.
silently. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll prove to you. Well, the idols is not beneficial. The idols doesn't harm you. The idol cannot eat. They cannot drink. So why you prostrate on this idol? Why you worship this idol? Why you ask from these idols? So that's what Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salam, he tried to advise his dad and his people. So that's
That's the whole. Chapter?
this chapter about Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salam.
Oh wait, we're not gonna find out what happened next.
That's for next
To
episode.
be continued.
Okay, damn it.
The meaning of nasiha.
Oh, the meaning of this. So
So
the
what does nasiha mean?
Nasiha
in English?
means to advise. Excuse me. In one of the hadiths of the Prophet SAW, is narrated by Imam Muslim, that the Prophet SAW said, Ad-dinun nasiha. Religion is a nasiha. Firstly, before we go to the nasiha from this hadith, what's the meaning of ad-din nasiha? Firstly, ad-din means, just now when we recorded before this, when you talk about Quran, is it? Then you suddenly, what do you think about when you mention about Quran? What do you think about? So when you talk about deen, straight away, what's come to mind? So deen is about our religion, the 5 pillars of Islam, right? The shahada, the salat, the fasting, the zakat, and the hajj. That's our religion, right? And then when the Prophet ﷺ say ad-dinun nasiha with the alif lam at the front, that means the key of the religion. What is it?
Nasiha.
Yes.
Mm.
The key of religion is
Inshallah.
It's
Ustazah Latifah.
Latifah.
No, Ustazah Sharifah Latifah Umar Mashhur.
Yeah. So the key of our religion is an-nasiha. And what is nasiha? The scholars explain nasiha is easy for me to explain it. To give example, that nasiha means to sew for the clothing that is already torn. Okay, for example, these days is very strange, right? In the past, during the time of the Prophet ﷺ, whenever the Sahaba has a torn trousers or clothing, what they do, they will patch.
Yeah, like they'll mend it.
It's like aib, is like embarrassing, right?
To have a
To
whole.
have a hole, and then they cannot afford to buy new clothing because of their poor.
Yeah.
So what they do, they'll patch.
To
They
cover
don't have
it.
Salvation Army to donate the clothes.
During that time, don't have. All right, and then so that is what during the strange part in our time, people buy torn pants, jeans, right?
Oh yeah, as a style.
Exactly. So it's
Yes.
like in the past, it's aib, is embarrassing, but
They
these
just
days
sew
in our time, it's like something that you
They
proud.
buy and take a scissors.
That's a classic. Like my parents always say, like in Indian, they're like, ngapain zaman dulu itu ditutup? Like, why are you buying this? People would cover it, and now you're exposing it.
Shaz, we need to translate.
Yeah, back in the days they would
Yeah.
like cover it, and now it's
Yeah.
becoming a trend and a style. I'm not saying it's bad, like, but still.
Yeah, but the strange part, they sell at the high value,
Yeah.
and people buy it.
That's a funny thing. I just came back from Malaysia, and then they were selling this kurta at 99 ringgit, and they're selling another long sleeve one at 99 ringgit. I'm like, oh, this is a short sleeve. That's less. That's less
material.
Why are you selling at the same price? I want to get a discount, but I didn't get it.
Oh. So back to the topic just now, that nasiha means to sew the clothing that is already torn.
Yeah.
Meaning you want goodness towards others, want goodness towards other people. So that is what nasiha means. So the key of our religion is to what they call that, you want goodness towards the others. You want to be good about other people.
But sometimes when someone give nasiha, it's as if they are sewing our skin. It's really painful.
Yes, true.
Yeah.
But
Don't
then, but then that's how you feel, though. That's something that they can't control. They're just doing their job to do the nasiha, like what the prophets did. For example, the Prophet Ibrahim, he knows it's going to accept them, but he knows it's not right. And, you know, he feels like he's been given by Allah the task to, okay, this is not right. I'm going to fix it.
But I think
there are ways to give it though.
Yeah, it just depends.
Talking in our sort of time now,
Yeah.
So
there are ways to give
Like,
advice.
if you look at what Nabi Ibrahim did, he actually give the rational
Like he was
thinking.
being neutral.
He was giving that first,
True.
and then the father didn't want to understand
yeah.
and refused. to
Refused.
understand.
So he was justifying it first.
So he was giving his effort to talk it out rather than smashing it first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people just smash it.
Smash it
Yeah,
first.
straight
And,
to the
oh,
point.
I'm sorry, I did it. But
And then justify it after.
So the thing about nasiha, Imam Ghazali rahimahullah, he said in his book Ayyuhal Walad, he said that an-nasiha as-sahla, an-nasihatu sahla. To give advice is easy,
Yeah.
right? To give advice. Wal mushkil qubulha.
To take it is hard.
To accept it is very hard.
why is it?
Because of, you see, when just now when you say that, when someone give you advice, sometimes they so on your skin as well, right? It's hard for you to accept it. Just like Nabi Ibrahim's dad, his father Azar, because why? He is a father, he is someone that lived longer than Nabi Ibrahim, and then suddenly out of nowhere, his young child advising
7 years
him.
old.
So what do you think about this? As a father, receive a nasiha from the child.
His masculinity.
So it's like the egoistic
Ego.
start to come
Yeah.
in. Yeah, because of our ego. Sometimes it's just us. When it's good that we have this reflection deck. Sometimes we just refuse to accept it because the person that give us the nasiha is someone that we don't like.
Yeah.
You know. So
It's like at work. It's like how you give feedback. You gotta like look at the situation, look at the person. Some people, they don't like confrontation in public in an open space. So what you do is just like, hey, do you have the time? This is what I'm seeing. These are the facts. So that's what Nabi Ibrahim did. They don't talk. They don't eat. These are facts. And they still refuse to listen.
yeah, and then that is the ego is the main thing because like if you're talking about the world, working world, right? If you're the manager, you're the boss. When someone under you, your direct report, come to you and say, hey, you did something wrong. As a boss, who are you to tell me? Right? It's gonna be embarrassing when someone advise you. So the ego is like it's overcome, overwhelming egoistic in them that causes like hard for you to accept it.
I recall this. Not sure if it's a hadith, but there's a way to advise. You always say like 3 good things about that person. Like, oh, I like the way you dress or something. You praise that person 3 times, and then you give that one advice so that the person.
Yeah, you soften, you touch the heart first, you penetrate to the heart first.
Yeah.
And then once someone that, okay, if you get...
Like, I can't just go to Shaz. Hey, Shaz, I think you need to like change this and change that. Maybe I can just, hey, Shaz, how's your like your day today? And then like, oh, I like your pictures in like when you go for your trips and everything. I like your thing. Like, oh, and then maybe you can advise him. Like,
But
However, classic but, however.
Yeah.
Is that the way?
I think it's like you establish the relationship first. You make yourself comfortable with that person first. Once the person is comfortable with you, I think it's easier for you to get advice from that person.
Yeah.
And then it's easy for the person to accept it. Because I've seen examples, right? Someone that from somewhere out of nowhere come to the place and then suddenly give you advice.
yeah,
Just like, who is this person? We don't know you.
Yeah.
Give me Angel Jibril.
So yeah, so you don't know who that person suddenly gave you advice. Especially for and we look at the imams, right? Our imams, local imams, they all are respectable. They all been acknowledged and they've all been recognized and been introduced with the community. And then
Like they have a good profile.
and then after that they make themselves really down to earth and then start to talk to the community and then it's easy for the community to communicate with him. They have that relationship and then the imams can simply lead the community and give advice and the community can simply listen to it and then follow the teaching.
But also, like at the end of the day, people need to know that, okay, cool, we'll give you the nasiha, but it also comes back to how you take it, whether you want to. That's between you and Allah. You've done your job. to give the nasiha. I feel like that's how I see things now as I get older. I will give people the nasiha when they come and ask me for advice, but I'm not going to expect you to do what I've just said, because it's your experience, your own judgment, and that's between you and Allah.
Yeah, I received that kind of advice recently.
Really?
Like, the guide, not the teaching what you just said.
Yeah.
Like
Or
you
the
can,
guide.
yeah,
how to
you
give
can only
nasiha.
you can only bring a horse to the river.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Saying, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, but you can't make the horse drink the water.
You can't.
You can't. So
Yeah.
you can only do your best, but you can't have the expectation like, I already told you. Why you still not
Yeah.
listening? But you can only bring the horse to the
But
river.
also it goes back to what we talked about in the previous episode. It's the intentions that you have. And your intention is to give the nasiha. And I know,
Yeah.
like how you said earlier, how people like sue you to the skin.
Oh,
Maybe at that time you're going through a rough patch and you're feeling a little bit sensitive to
But
things.
but I reckon they can use the advice. I mean the
Yeah.
thing where they can praise first,
Yeah.
or they can make you like connect with you first,
Yeah, like
rather
build
than
a
just like, oh
relationship first.
yeah.
I personally find it like, in terms of giving like advice, religious advice, I find it quite difficult, to be honest, to give someone religious advice, because I always come from a point where I'm like, who am I to give advice to this person?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm not perfect either. Who am I to go and tell this guy you should be doing this? So I always feel that way in terms of giving religious advice. But how do you go about making sure that you can give advice, but in a way that doesn't make you feel like that?
So when you say that you're not a perfect person, who am I to give advice? Firstly,
Yeah.
you need to remember no one's perfect.
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect. Even our imams, they have some flaws, they have some mistakes, and the thing is, we must remember, as our like the Prophet say, "Ad-dinu nasiha." The key of religion is to give nasiha. Nasiha not necessarily means that you gotta not confront, like push one person at one side and then give nasiha. You can give reminder. Reminder also can be not only by words,
Oh, I'm gonna
by,
say that. Yeah.
by action.
Yeah,
You do
okay.
some action, people say, "Oh, I thought you were just a footballer." But you also pray. You salah, mashallah. I feel bad. I'm a footballer too, but I didn't pray. So that's a way. There's always a way of giving nasiha.
Like, even like charity, people see you do charity, they're like, oh, I also want to do something good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because I feel like the essence of nasiha is to bring like good things, not make things fall apart, like
Yeah.
your relationship fall
So I
apart.
think if even for the person who trying to give the nasiha, and then if they're gonna make the relationship even worse than what they
there's
are,
no point.
there's no point of
Yeah.
giving to that nasiha, because that
Yeah.
person is not ready. This is what I've also been told recently, that if the person is not ready to listen, I think it's not the time to share.
Yeah.
Or maybe there's other ways to provide
Yeah,
it. Like,
another way to provide
like
like
we
the
just went
action.
through, yeah.
Yeah.
It's also a thing where like think before you speak kind of thing. You observe the situation and it brings back to your social cues and social manners.
Yeah, I can take two to like to person to what do you call it, to balance out
Yeah.
the situation.
I think from this conversation, I would like to summarize this 5 adab of giving nasiha.
Okay, we end with this one.
Yeah.
We end with this.
Yeah,
I
we
feel
end-
like we
yeah,
actually
yeah,
talked
yeah.
about it without realizing it.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. So
I feel
we
like
can we can point out 5 what do you call it, the points of adabs of giving nasiha. Number 1 is ikhlas, sincerity. Sincere, that you sincerely want to give advice, and you sincerely that you want goodness towards that person, and you do it with sincerity. You want to have a goodness about you don't want anything but goodness about this person, about your friends or your family members or your relatives, whoever. That's number 1, ikhlas, sincerity. Number 2, when you're giving advice, the adab is a lean. Lean means softness, calm, easy. You shouldn't be use harsh word to give nasihat. People will not accept it.
No.
Nobody will accept it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say, فَبِمَا رَحْمَةٍ مِّنَ اللَّهِ لِنْتَ لَهُمْ. Allah said to the Prophet ﷺ, you have giving them nasihat by very gentle and soft towards these people. If you see, وَلَوْ كُنْتَ فَضًا غَلِيظ غَلِيظَ الْقَلْبِ لَمْ فَضُّوا مِنْ حَوْلِكَ. If you harsh, if you speak to them with harshness, with strict, then people will they will
Run away.
go away from you. Right? So this, when we give what they call that, the nasiha to other people, the adab is to give in a soft manner, with gentle and with sincerity and gentle. And then the third one is tawakkal. And this is something that for those who give nasihat to others must be tawakal. Tawakal means to leave everything to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't get disappointed when you nasihah that person, when you advise that person, you counsel that person, and then that person not listening to you, not taking your advice. Don't get disappointed because...
Like no expectations.
Yeah, no expectation. Leave it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because Allah is the one who guide their hearts. Allah who give the guidance to them, not us. We just do our job as we're doing da'wah, give nasiha. The rest of it we leave it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then when giving nasiha towards others, like just now we say that we pull that person one side, not in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Not like to humiliate that person in front of the big crowd and then, hey, you did something wrong. You what in the masjid, for example, hey, you put on shorts? Really? In the masjid in Salat?
Oh man, oh my god. Some guy did that before.
MashaAllah.
In Perth?
May Allah forgive that person.
And guess what? The imam came up to him.
Some guy wore shorts, you mean?
Yeah, and then the guy next to him said that, oh, you're wearing short. Why are you praying here? The imam from the front ran to this man. You get up now.
Yes,
You get
that
out
serves
now.
him right.
Wow.
That's so rude.
So that's, yeah.
I'm like, this imam gonna get boxing session with this guy, man. I was gonna be like, shit, man, like, oh, what's going on? And then they prayed. And then the kid was, he's a teenager. He's a bit emotional. And then the imam brought out and then pushed him out all the way out. And then he's like, and he wanted to fight with the imam. Oh man, I think the imam gonna win if you.
You see, Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah, he said that the true nasiha, the actual nasiha is to give nasiha, to give advice discreetly, not in front of everybody. Not in the big crowd, not say it loudly, not say harshly. Just pull him one side and just have a casual talk, and then after that give nasiha. Discreetly, no one knows. That is true nasiha.
Yeah.
So that's number 4.
Yeah.
And the 5th one is when, like just now Hadi also mentioned that we want to give nasiha, find at the right moment, right timing. If that person is in the state of anger, don't worry about it.
Don't worry, shaitan's around him.
70%.
Leave him alone. You know the story about Umar al-Khattab radiallahu an. Before he became a Muslim, he wanted to go to Darul Arqam and kill the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Yes.
And he got to know about his sister already embraced Islam.
Yeah.
And then when he went to his sister, before he's on his way to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but then when he heard about his sister, he diverted his road to his sister's house, and then he found out that his sister still reading Quran, and he got really angry and pissed off, and he want to know what is it that his sister's holding, and he said, no, you cannot touch it. You're not pure, and
You're not a Muslim kind of thing.
So the sister said, you go and wash yourself first.
Yeah.
That's teaching us to make him calm down. So when you wash, like that's why when you are angry, the Prophet ﷺ taught us when you're angry, take wudu.
Yes.
Because water, will extinguish the fire, right?
And then when you come home, wudu and like clean yourself so that
keep
whatever.
yourself
Does that mean
Yeah.
when the shaitan near us, when we take wudu, they get burned?
No, stop. I'm imagining. No, when I was little, not just burning, I feel like shaitan is melting. This was when I was little, so yeah, not just you. That's what I think too.
No, because the other time is the rain. Because when there's rain, I mean, how can they walk outside there, man?
So that's funny. Yeah, anyway. So now Umar al-Khattab radiallahu anhu.
That's not ikhlas.
So Umar al-Khattab, he go and wash himself.
Yeah.
So when he washed himself, that's where he calmed down, and then the sister give her the Quran. That's where he start to read the Quran. When he read the Quran, he read the Quran. That's where he can understand it. He can absorb it. He can feel it. And then he continued his journey to the Prophet ﷺ. And then he became a Muslim. So in the state of anger,
He calmed down.
He calmed down.
And he changed his intention.
Yeah, so that's why the sister did not tell her or give her the Quran when he's angry. So likewise, when you want to give nasihat to people at the right time. The Prophet ﷺ normally, or sometimes he take the opportunity to give nasihat to people after Fajr. After Salat Fajr, because Fajr is very soothing in the morning.
It's very
right?
calm.
Very calm.
Serene.
After Fajr, after Salam, he come make zikir, make awrat, and remembrance of Allah, and then he give nasiha to the Sahaba.
I know one other time that he also likes to give is after eating meal.
Oh yes,
Yes.
yeah.
Because everyone's
So-
happy.
Everyone's happy, everyone's stomach full.
Food
and
makes
yeah.
everyone happy.
yeah, so they give nasiha so they can accept it. People can accept it easily, right? So inshallah. So the story about the Arabs Bedouin entered to the mosque of the Prophet SAW in Medina, and
Oh,
he
yes.
passed urine in the mosque. The Sahaba straight away stood up and then want to whack this Bedouin, and the Prophet stopped them. In fact, the Prophet SAW asked the Sahaba to clean it, and then
Wash it, yeah.
and then after that, wash it, and that's where after that, then the Prophet SAW advised the person. He did not advise when the Sahaba want to whack him, and then this guy like, hey, what's going on? He make the whole situation calm down first.
And this was in the mosque.
In the mosque, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So whenever we in the mosque, we should be calm ourselves down, not get angry, and we just prepare. The Imam is there giving us advice, nasiha. So we just make ourselves prepared, inshallah.
Inshallah.
So that's the five etiquette or the adab of giving nasiha, inshallah. So we may Allah benefits, give us this beneficial, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Alrighty, thank you so much, guys, for watching. Hope you all enjoyed our episode. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube, and listen to us on Spotify. If you find this beneficial to others, do share to them, inshallah. See you next Friday. Assalamualaikum.
يا ربنا اعترفنا بأننا اقترفنا وأننا أسرفنا على لظى أشرفنا فتب علينا توبة تغسل كل حوبة واستر لنا العورات وآمن الروعات واغفر لوالدينا ربي ومولودينا والأهل والإخوان وسائر الخلان وكل ذي محبة أو جيرة أو صحبة والمسلمين أجمع آمين ربي فاسمع فضلا وجودا منا لا باكتساب منا بالمصطفى الرسول نهضى بكل سول صلى وسلم ربي عليه عند الحب وآله والصحب عداد تشي الصحب والحمد لله في البدء والتناهي آمين.